turn it right over to Tim, who has been a loyal member of 1 Million Cups for about the last year, and excited to have him pitch. Tim from GivCuz, everybody. We can clap.
Or not. Thanks. Yeah, I found this place about a year ago, and I am a motivational talk junkie, and this is a wonderful way of finding out about some of the new stuff that's going on in the community. I was trying to figure out how to start this thing out, and my wife helped me out this morning. I was looking on top of my dresser, and there were a bunch of ticket stubs, and I was trying to figure out what they were, and I looked at them, and they were the World Series doubleheader for the American Legion baseball team in 2010. I was traveling with my son, who was pitching for the Eden Prairie American Legion baseball team and doing the World Series route, and they made it all the way to the World Series and lost in the final deal. But while I was traveling, somebody introduced me to a wonderful new concept I got all excited about as I was traveling from Minneapolis to Kansas City to Omaha to Salt Lake City to Spokane. Somebody told me about a new thing called Groupon. And I was able to find pizza and hotel rooms and massage and oil changes for cheap. And I thought that was the greatest idea in the world. My business at that time was going to China and finding stuff and bringing it back and selling it to Menards and Target and folks like that. I thought the idea of the daily deal was interesting, and I should take a look at that. Well, the more I looked into it, the more I wasn't so sure that I liked the idea the way that it was set up. The poor pizza guy is selling a $20 pizza for $10. He's getting 5 of it, and nobody ever comes back. If the customer that's coming in is looking to get a $20 pizza for $10, next time they want a $20 pizza for $10, they'll just go back to Groupon and buy it again. They don't come back to the pizza guy. And as I tried to figure out how to tweak that a little bit, it occurred to me that nonprofits have a difficult time trying to figure out how to raise funds. Businesses have a difficult time trying to figure out how to partner with customers and bring them together. And another challenge that's out there is that people believe in a cause and they would like to support the Leukemia Foundation, the Cancer Society, the neighborhood school district or whatever, but you hesitate signing on as a donor because as soon as you do, you start getting that email saying, send me $50, send me $50, send me $50. GivCuz was developed to handle 3 sides of the coin. We work with the nonprofit, the organization, and ask them to send out a note to their donor base saying, take a look at our new fundraising partner. We go to the businesses and say, we'd like to help you partner with the donor base from the nonprofit and offer once a year, you're going to get a birthday card equivalent of the daily deal from Groupon where you get the 50% off. The other 364 days of the year, you're going to be offered a 10% discount and a 15% contribution to the nonprofit. So the idea is that you're going out today, you're going to buy a cup of coffee, you're going to pick up your dry cleaning, and this weekend you're going to have your oil changed. And the concept is that you can partner with the coffee guy that agrees to give you a discount and to make a contribution to your nonprofit. You can get your oil changed at a place that will give you a discount and make a contribution. Somebody told me once that from a business point of view, what the tire store on the corner is trying to do is stop being the tire store on the corner and become my tire store. And how do you do that? How do you form that partnership? Well, there are different ways. One of the ways is that they can support you in the things that you believe in. A number of years ago, I was involved in being a supporter of a whole bunch of different organizations. I was with the Guthrie. I was with the Art Institute. I was with my kids' school with a number of different things. And eventually, you just get exhausted opening your email and seeing, oh, there's another thing from the Art Institute. I'm interested in what the Art Institute is doing, but I know when it gets to the bottom line, what they're always asking me for is the $50. I gave them $100 at the beginning of the year, and now I'm marked, and they're coming back and looking for another 100. With this, on a daily basis, you can go out with the money that you're going to spend today anyway. I'm going to eat Chinese food. I'm going to get a tank of gas. I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm going to pick up my dry cleaning. And if each of those turns out to be a $1 contribution, by the end of the year, you've made a contribution of $300 or $400 or $500 to the causes that you believe in. Lady this morning was saying, oh, that's like another one that I know about down in Omaha. This weekend, my wife called me down and said, somebody else is already doing what you're doing. There are organizations that help people figure out on National Giving Day who you should give to. I always have a hard time trying to imagine how it could be difficult to figure out who you want to give your money to. You obviously believe in something. You have a feeling about something that you'd like to support. And why would you look to me to suggest who you need to go to? What I suggest is that we figure out how to talk to those folks, have them come to GivCuz, have them send out a note to their donor base or put us on their web homepage saying, take a look at GivCuz and we'll help you support the causes that you have. There are 3 ways to do it. One is the 50% off deal. When you get the $20 pizza for $10, $5 goes to the nonprofit, $5 goes to the pizza guy. When you go back the other 364 days of the year, your pizza costs $10, you're going to get a 10% discount, and a 15% contribution goes to the nonprofit. Or from the business point of view, whatever the business feels comfortable with. If 10 and 15 is not the right number, plug in the right number, something that you're excited to do business with. Nothing worse than having a whole bunch of business that you're not happy with because you're not working at an area that you feel comfortable at. That was one of the problems that we saw with some of the other daily deals. You're a massage joint, and you got 2 massage people. You go on to the daily deal site, and all of a sudden you get blasted with 1,000 people that want to come in. Well, how does a spot with 2 massage people handle 1,000 new customers? What we do is come in and we work with 1,000 people at this one, 1,000 people at this one, 1,000 people at this one, rather than blasting you with 250,000 emails all at the same time. We're at our MVP level right now. I'm choosing 2 nonprofits to get started with and 20 businesses. We're going to start it out there, grow to the citywide basis here in another 60 days, and then figure out how to go nationally and internationally from there. Lee was good enough to give me the heads up here a minute ago and tell me that I need to wrap it up and ask for some questions. Hopefully I've started enough of a concept here that you can give me some input on what it is that I can do differently or how I can help clarify it for you. Thanks very much. Yep.
I'd like to compliment you. Great concept. I think businesses going forward that we are all going to need to be giving back to the community one way or another. My question to you is, how are you making money?
I am a for-profit company, and I asked the business and the nonprofit to share with me, and it's a beforehand agreed on deal. The $20 pizza for $10, $5 is going here, $5 is going there. I ask each of them to give me 10%, so I get a buck out of the deal, and they end up with $4.50. Part of what we're doing here is making it very transparent. When you sign in, you're with the Leukemia Foundation. Jane Doe with the Leukemia Foundation is how your dashboard reads. You bought a pizza for $10. It shows how much goes to the pizza guy, how much goes to the cause that you're supporting, and how much goes to GivCuz. So it's 100% transparent. Before you pull the trigger on spending $10, you're going to know where that $10 is going and how much is going to the cause that you're trying to support.
Tim, how does the system actually work? So with each business, is there software that they have to use in order to have that transaction or that work, or how does it function?
It's when you go to the Holiday gas station with your deal from Cub Foods, you've got your barcode on your keychain fob. We've got that and or a QR code, that little square thing with all the stuff in it that individually identifies you, and your ID corresponds with the nonprofit that you're affiliated with, and it will, when we're starting out, it's a little bit of a Frankenstein process where you just start out and you're asking people to work with you, and Devani's and some other folks have agreed to basically work in a 3-ring notebook for the first 60 days to figure out how we're going to track this stuff. The vision is that eventually you go in, you scan the QR code, and bing bang, it's done, and you can take it from there. So you're going to be able to look at it on your phone, figure out who the partners are that you have the choice to work with. You go into them, you give them your QR code on your phone, let them scan it, and it just automatically kicks in.
My question is, All right. My question is, how does the money transfer from one place to another? So are you requiring the businesses to send it to each of the nonprofits once you get going, or is the money going to flow from you and then you'll distribute the money as it needed?
The money will flow from me. We accept payment like you would if you're setting up an Amazon account or something like that. You can do it with a PayPal, with a Visa card, with an account that's set up. When you go back in for the repeat, when you're going back in to buy a pizza and you're going to get the 10% discount and they're going to make a 15% contribution, that's kept track of on a spreadsheet. And at the end of the month, there were $1,000 in purchases. That equals $150 that's coming back. And so we'll keep track of that and work with each business on that basis and handle it that way. When you as a contributor buy your pizza for $20 or buy your $20 pizza for $10, $5 is going to the nonprofit, $5 is going to the pizza guy, you're going to get a coupon to go in and cash. The nonprofit gets their $5 right now. The pizza guy gets their $5 when you go in and cash out the pizza.
And if I'm a business that wants to work with you, say, hey, this is great and I want to be part of this program, at the end of the month I send you the money and then you'll distribute it to the correct nonprofits based on your users.
Hopefully we'll be sending you enough stuff that's new customers. From the business point of view, yeah, you want to have repeat customers come back, but by the same token, you want to have new people come in and have you become their Chinese food spot.
Yep. No, I just mean, so I'm giving 15% to whatever nonprofit your customers want to go to.
You're giving 15% to GivCuz, and GivCuz is
Okay,
distributing
yep,
it to the
that was my
nonprofits.
question. So that there's no, we don't have to worry about
Correct.
$10 here, 50 cents there.
Correct.
We can just give to you and you take care of it for
And
us.
by the same token, I've had people ask, do I get to pick the nonprofit that I'm working with? No. The nonprofits are out there, and daily it's going to rotate. But by the same token, the nonprofit list will be looking at the donor or at the business list, and they can go buy tires here, get their oil changed here, pick up their dry cleaning here, and there might be 4 or 5 dry cleaners that make sense. One in St. Paul is going to handle the St. Paul. People in Minnetonka don't care at all about the guy in St. Paul for their dry cleaner. You have to have the guy that's your guy. So you can look up the list of the index business partners and go from there. As we go national and the Holiday Inns and Red Lobsters and that stuff come into play, it'll work out better that way as well.
When a business signs on, what does the marketing look like to help support the campaign and support the giving cause to bring people in to the businesses?
It's real laid back and low key. It's kind of a word of mouth deal. The nonprofits want to go out and fix the world, and you'd never want to say, I don't like your cause. I believe in my cause. I don't dislike your cause. What we're trying to do is figure out how to get money to them. They're going to put out words to their donors, and instead of saying, give me $50, they're going to say, take a look. Would you be willing to buy a pizza? Well, if I'm the dad on the baseball team, instead of going out and buying the Christmas wrap or the cheese logs or whatever it is, I would love to be able to go to the Chinese joint, get my oil change done, pick up my dry cleaning, and have that turn into $20 going to the baseball team. So the baseball team is not a nonprofit. It's a community good organization that I will support the baseball team or the high school band or the theater arts group or the robotics team or whatever it is the same way, and try not to be judgmental unless there becomes a, if you've got a case where you're wondering, can I partner with a nonprofit and I am plus or minus Planned Parenthood, well, yeah, you got to make allowances for something like that, but those are going to be special deals. You don't want to say, I'm not back in the St. Louis Park hockey team because I'm from Minnetonka and I hate those guys. This is a business, so we're going to run it in a way that's semi-friendly from there. But basically, it's word of mouth. If you hear about a person that wants to join, they can come in and join, and if their organization isn't here already, they can just start the fund up, leave it in their hopper, and their nonprofit needs to hear, go sign up, I've already got a $50 start for you, or the money will be in the hopper and you can plug it into a different organization down the road that you believe in. If somebody calls in and says, where's my list of organizations, I'm not giving it out. When somebody comes in with $100 to support The Cancer Society, the last thing they want to see is that Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Leukemia Foundation, Starving Children in Africa are all here on the list. Dang, I hadn't thought about them. I only have $100. I should give 20 to each of them, so I'm not going to support it that way. You need to find the organization, figure out how to bring them to us, and it comes out word of mouth from there. Businesses, I'd love to keep getting my dry cleaning done at the same place. Tell him, take a look at GivCuz so that I can support you there, and it ends up with everybody kind of helping support all the way around.
So it sounds like the first businesses that you're working with they're agreeing to work with you based upon a relationship maybe you have with them? And
based on the understanding that this is the concept and we're going to get started, and it's kind of a Frankenstein version where it's a 50% off on the one-time opening deal, and then when people come back, it's a 10% discount and a 15% contribution from there.
are you finding when you go talk to the businesses that they either already have some sort of charitable giving in place, or that they've looked at other types of platforms? Or are you really talking with businesses that have not thought of charitable contribution in terms of marketing?
Charitable contributions are something nobody is opposed to. Daily deals, people all have a real strong opinion on. The businesses kind of hem and haw. The other daily deal program that's out there doesn't do a whole lot to promote the business. It's a one-time blast. It goes out there. It's in massive disruptive quantity. I've got a guy that I work with that goes to Nyes for his anniversary every year. He made his reservation for Nyes at 7 o'clock for a party at 12, 3 months in advance. He got there a half an hour early and had to wait an hour because the coupon was expiring in 3 days, and they had 100 people that came in at the last minute and needed to cash their coupon in, and they screwed it up and didn't hold his table. And the restaurant commented, this happens every time we do the darn coupon, and as it's beginning to expire, because it goes out to the whole community all on the same day, and on July 1st, your deal starts, and 90 days later, your deal ends, and you have to cash it in. And in addition to that, the restaurant or the business gets 30% of their money after 30 days, 30% of their money after 60 days, 30% of their money after 90 days, and it's just kind of a weird deal for them. We're trying to be the good guy and look after everybody. As soon as somebody comes in and buys the pizza, you get your money. As soon as the donor's money comes to us, it goes out to the nonprofit.
Okay, I'm going to take this from a business standpoint. So let's say I'm a business in the east side of St. Paul. Okay, right now I have charitable contributions that go to 5 different charities. It is a business write-off for me. Now, if I sign an agreement with you, you being a for-profit business, percentage of that goes back. Can you help me understand how, as a business, is it a write-off for me now? Because if you're making the donation,
it's not.
It's a, okay, that's what I need to understand. Thank you.
My accountant tells me that if you're in a position where you're selling at a loss, you can write it off. Other than that, people are coming to you and creating a transaction, and it's not a deduction for you. Your contribution is in support of that person who's coming in to partner with you. Businesses are trying to figure out how to bring customers in and create a partnership. And instead of running the ad in the Sunday paper at 25% off or having a loss leader item on this thing that normally is $29 and today it's $9.95, what you're doing is I guess I think of it with an oil change. I don't have an oil change place. I always go look and try and find the $19.99 guy on Saturday morning and go get it looked after, and I don't care if it's Rapid Oil Change or the other guy on that corner or that one. There's no reason for me to care one way or the other unless somebody screwed me up once, then I'm not going back to that one. But with this, I almost don't care if it's $24.95 because they're going to give me 10% off and they're going to give $3 to the nonprofit, and that's good enough. That's my oil change place now, and if somebody else offers that, maybe I'll consider them too. Or maybe it's just a matter of, I don't care today, it's only a couple of bucks, and I'm going to stop in and get it done. But it gives you a reason to partner with the retailer. The retailer's looking for a way to have people come to your shop. I want to go to coffee. Do I want Starbucks? Do I want Dunn Brothers? Do I want Caribou? Do I want Joe Blow on the corner? Why do I care? Well, because this guy's partnering with me and supporting my nonprofit from a buyer perspective. From a retail perspective, the reason you're doing it is because we're helping you become my tire store instead of just the tire store on the corner.
You mentioned that it is not a write-off for businesses, but what about for individuals? That
No,
would
you're
be
getting the
first-
pizza.
Nope. Yeah.
You're getting the
I was
pizza.
going to say, are you planning on doing any sort of application for this that people can download on their phone?
Absolutely. I met the guy that, I've been through a fistful of developers. It's a challenge on a bootstrap type of basis to figure out how to go forward. The developer that I'm working with today is a great app guy, and he wanted to get started with the app right off the get-go and get started. What I've been told in my journey here is don't jump into it with both feet and lock yourself into something before you find out that what you need is this and what you don't need or what nobody cares about is that. So we're starting out with the MVP. We're going out with a version where you're going to get an emailed coupon and you're going to have a list, and the store is going to look at your card saying, I'm member number 101 or 102 with GivCuz, and go from there. Then we put the beta in place where there will be an app available on your computer, and it's $100,000 to get your mobile app up and running. So when we get to the post-beta deal and we do the launch, we're hoping to do that December 1st, then we'll have the app for your phone ready to roll.
Will there be any sort of tracking in place so that the user can see where their money is, again, being the amount that they're going to be donated, or so they can kind of see what sort of difference they're going to be making?
Your dashboard will show you what you've done daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever kind of maniac you are that you want to go look and see what you've done. It'll also show you before you pull the trigger to buy this pizza at Al's Pizza that it's a $17.43 purchase. I'm not dictating that it's 10 and 15. It can be whatever it is. So when you look at Al's Pizza, you're going to see what deal Al has put together and how much money's going to Al, how much money's going to the donation cause that you have designated, and how much money's coming to GivCuz. It all is 100% transparent.
So like looking at it as an advertising platform, is there any cost for businesses to get listed on yours? And are you going to have a map of businesses that you can just go on and check nearby businesses, or how does it work from like an advertising
I'm
standpoint?
not looking to be an advertising venue at all. The businesses are there. If you go to the directory of business partners that are working with us, there will be a directory of it. It's been suggested that I allow Al's Pizza to buy his way to the top of the list so that he's above Jim's Pizza or Bob's Pizza or whatever. I'm not there yet, and I'm not sure I want to go there. I think it should be set up so that it's maybe geographically, or the people that you have worked with in the past are the ones that are at the top, and you'll work your way from there.
You might want to consider doing a map, because I know I like to, maybe other people too, like to shop in certain areas. So there's, I take East River down. So any business along that way, I'm going to drive by. But if it goes the other direction, I'll never go there. So like I would love to stop at businesses along the way. And so if you're going to have the list anyways, you might want to consider a map as just an idea to get more random, like the random new users. So
The map will be there. The advertising capability I don't plan on.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
How many businesses are you contacting originally to get kind of the beta version going?
My ticket stub in here says 2010, for those of you who were here at the beginning. 5 years ago, I started talking about this with businesses, with nonprofits, with different organizations, and I've learned to back off and stop until I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go today, so I've got 25 of them ready to go right now, between the oil change guy, this, that, and the next thing. But to go out and talk to people and say, I'm going to be doing this in just a little while without having the developmental end of it done, ticks off the businesses, ticks off the nonprofits. People would like to say, I'd like to sign up with you. Well, I don't have any place for you to sign up with me today. So I'm talking to the businesses. Some of them get it, some of them don't. A lot of people are wondering, from a nonprofit point of view, when's the other shoe going to drop? What's it going to cost me? Well, from a nonprofit point of view, they're all trying to figure out how to raise funds, and people who come to them with fundraising ideas generally want them to buy software, to enroll in a program, to do something. All I'm doing is saying, sign on the dotted line and allow me to be a nonprofit fundraising partner. Here are the parameters. It doesn't cost you anything. The only time that we get involved in this end of it is when you sign up, and from there it goes out to your donors. And when the money comes in, it comes back to you on a monthly basis. Same thing with the businesses. We talked to them about, let's get started. working together. It doesn't make sense for me to put the pizza shop in Woodbury in place if I'm working with a nonprofit in Eden Prairie. That isn't going to create a lot of action. So we're starting out on a real micro-regional basis in the Eden Prairie community, where we've got the food shelf and a sports affiliate that are the two that we're starting out with, and we're starting out with the pizza joint and the oil change place and that type of thing. From there, we're going to figure out how to cover the Twin Cities metro area, and from there we'll go out and go regionally, and hopefully by a year from today we will be nationally on our way to internationally.
So you've said that you get to pick, or you don't get to pick which nonprofit your money goes towards. So I'm confused. Am I looking at a list of nonprofits? How do I decide I want to do this based on which nonprofits are in it? And
Thanks
then how transparent are you going to be about the money? So if I choose, the National Cancer Society to be my nonprofit, does all of my donations go to them, or is it spread out across all of them? And so currently with the two, 50% of my money would go towards the one that I want, and 50% would go towards the other nonprofit.
Thanks. I obviously didn't clarify that very well. There isn't going to be a list of nonprofits. The way that you come to me is hopefully from your nonprofit, suggesting that you take a look at GivCuz and partner with us to support them. So if the Cancer Society is who sent you, that's where your money is going. If somewhere down the line you say, gee, I'm with the Leukemia Foundation and I should suggest to them that they take a look at GivCuz also, now on your dashboard it's going to show the Cancer Society, and if you choose the Leukemia Foundation, and if you're enough of a geek to figure it out, you can go in and figure out how to divvy it up at different times to different places so that 50% goes here, 25% goes here, 10% goes here, 10% goes here. And that's just, boom, the rule all the time unless you change it, or you can split it up however you want to split it up. There isn't ever going to be a list of who the nonprofits are that are available for you. It's going to be you dance with who brung you, and all your money goes to them.
So the National Cancer Society recommends me. Do they have a code or something that I sign up on the app with their code so that...
They're going to send you out a link, and when it comes to me, the only way I know that you came to me is from the link through the Cancer Society.
Okay. And then any business I buy from on your app, my money will go to the Cancer Society?
Correct.
Okay. What if a business recommends me to join the app?
Then you need to have some place where your money's going. You're going to buy the pizza. If you don't have a cause, you can start it up and just leave your money in the kitty so that every time you buy a pizza, $1.50 is going into the kitty, and you go there once a week, so at the end of the year there's $75 in there. Hopefully you can figure out a cause you'd like to send that to and talk to that cause and have them sign up with us and go from there.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And time just here for one more question.
So if I understood you correctly, your margin structure is $1 per transaction is how you make money?
10%.
Okay. So have you estimated total number of transactions per month that GivCuz needs to break even or see profitability?
I'm kind of a backwards thinking guy, and I look at it when the program is where we need it to be. I won't need to be worried about that. 10% of the transaction is going to be plenty. The people who do this stuff say, 10% isn't enough, you need to have more than that, and I disagree. When we're looking at buying headphones from headphones.com for Christmas, it's going to be a $100 set of headphones. They're not going to be given a 10% discount and a 15% contribution. That's going to be an affiliate marketing program where there's maybe 3% that goes from headphones.com into the nonprofit. So there's $3 off on the $100 set of headphones. My 10% comes out of that $3 so that I get 30 cents, and the nonprofit gets $2.70, and headphones.com will have a return customer because they're tied into the nonprofit, and the affiliate marketing will work that way. When it goes big picture enough, that'll be okay, and in the meantime, I'm not looking to this to be my source of livelihood anyhow. I need to be able to pay people to give me a hand to get everything up and running, but I'm not looking for it to be a source of livelihood.
Do you have an idea of what your monthly expenses are? your operating expenses?
I work cheap right now, and my partner that's working with me is working with me on my other businesses. The developer is doing it with the understanding that this thing is going to grow, and as it grows, he's going to get his money plugged in, and that's just kind of the way we're doing it. Bootstrappers Breakfast over in Minneapolis, third Thursday of the month, has taught me some stuff on how to go forward, basically with nothing, and that's the way that we've done it. I had one investor that came in and gave me some money to give to the developer to send the money off to his team to get them started so that we've got the back door working with the front door. The front door guy just did it out of belief because he said, I love this idea, let's go ahead and go forward, but I can't figure out how to do the 10% to get some help there. So I found a guy to give me some help there, and I came to him and I said, somehow my deal got set up here and organization is misspelled everywhere on this damn website. How do you fix that? And he said, I don't know, I'm the back end guy. Go talk to your front end guy. I talked to the front end guy. He said, oh God, you know, we can go back in. He said, you need a color scheme for pictures. I said, okay, we'll pick one. He picked one for us. Good Lord. I mean, it's not unbelievably horrible, but it's never what I would have picked, and it doesn't matter. You know, my vision, my idea, my opinion is certainly better than his, but it's not what we need to figure out how to go forward with. We'll start with this, we'll go forward, and we'll tweak it as we go along. And I tell my developers, ride along with me. This is a big vision, and if we get this rolling the way that I hope to get it rolling, I will certainly be your biggest customer, and they buy it. My vision comes from working with Walmart and Target and Menards and those folks, and my vision is to have this become the next big shared platform for nonprofits. There aren't an awful lot of different ways to go for nonprofits. You do cheese logs and gala benefits and walkathons and silent auctions and sometimes the donor fatigue is just marked with a lack of enthusiasm after enough time goes by. With this, it's like I'm going to spend that $3 on coffee anyway. I might as well do it with somebody where 50 cents of it's going to go to the thing that I care about. So at the end of the year, look at that. I got $100 in the kitty that I donated, and all I did was buy the stuff I was going to buy anyhow. That's kind of the essence and the vision behind GivCuz.
Tim, thank you. The last question we always ask is now, how can this community help you?
I'm easy. If you happen to know of an organization that we can help, if you know of a business that we can help, or if you've got a donor that says, I'd like to help my organization, send them my way, and we'll have a spot that they can hit the magic button, and we'll figure out how to partner with them. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Tim. And thank you all for being part of the conversation and GivCuz's journey. We look for big things from you. I hope you come back and tell us where you've been in the next 6 months or a year. And of course, Tim's here every week pretty much, so you can always follow up with him. Please stick around, Drink Coffee Network. Our library opens at 10 a.m. We have plenty of resources for you if you're starting or growing your business. Also, Startup Week is coming up in September. It's the week of September 7th. There's going to be great events all over the Twin Cities. Look up Startup Week Twin Cities. We'll put a link within our weekly emails. We're also going to be hosting 3 events here. 1 Million Cups on Wednesday. Right after that is going to be a pitch practice. So if you want to stick around and work with some people on practicing your pitch, you can do that. And then that Thursday, we're going to do a pitch in the park right out here in Rice Park. It's going to be fun, just really short pitches. If it's rainy, we'll be inside. But check out the schedule of all the events and show up to some stuff and be part of the startup scene here in the Twin Cities. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week for Pedro's pitch on haystack data. He was supposed to pitch the other week. He's coming back next week, so I hope to see you there.